Well, since you were last with me, we've picked up a couple of crucial home wins to keep us away from that relegation dogfight. But today, we've got the start of a three-game run on the road, and all of these games look difficult. Yes, hello, and welcome along to part 36 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. We are back today to go to my beloved Luton Town in a championship, managed by Olof Melberg nonetheless. They are flying high in fourth place with some pretty interesting names in the squad. Before we go away to Birmingham, a side we beat at home, but a side who pipped us to the Titan in League One last year with Ange Postecoglou at the helm. They look like they're going to survive as well, so if you're looking forward to this one and seeing how we get on, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. We've got to make some big decisions tactically today, but we have had a couple of really good days since you were last with me. We've had a few poor ones as well, let's not get too carried away. We've had a couple of changes to the schedule due to AFCON. Cameron Ishmael is still away, and we've been without Brooking a lot, so we have been struggling in wide areas. But these are the results since you were last with me, and I warn you, they are bizarre. We have drawn one, we have lost two without scoring, and then we've won two games by scoring 9 goals. Now, they get more confusing as we go along as well. The Reading game, which was straight after you were last with me for Wolves, was a bizarre one. At half time, it was 1-1. Keenan Davis equalised on a stroke of half time. Straight after it, Hugo popped up with a couple, Dan's got a second, and then we made a couple of changes to rest legs for the Saturday, and we won very handsomely by 6-1. Hugo's hat-trick, Dan's with 2, and Will Ferry with 1. We then drew 2-2 at home to Preston, who at the time were bottom of the league. Cody Drame, a former Luton man, scored a screamer. Bio got a late equaliser, but Joe Hugo again popped up with 2 goals and is starting to improve into a very good championship striker. We then went away to Blackburn and lost by 2-0. No big surprises there. Away at Plymouth, we lost 1-0 and just got outplayed. But unfortunately, we've got no attacking threat when we have an injury or fatigue. Then we got to Derby, and we had a big decision to make, because literally the whole team had run out of steam. Nobody was match fit, nobody was in great condition. So I rested nearly everyone and went, look, we've got to do it at some point, let's just do it here. We won the game 3-1. Morehouse, Presley and Ferry, 3 of the League One heroes scored. And if you have a look at the team, I guess the positive is that we had Daniel Rose back from injury. But the likes of Colin Driscoll played right back. Ferry slipped in at left back. I'm looking at the bench. We brought on a youth player who's never played before. Alistair Smith got a rare appearance. And even the likes of Roddy McGregor making his first start. He was a start in midfield. Sonny Hilton, of course, picked up a knock. But that win is huge. And that's all we've got to keep doing this season. If you take out the first month where we got that really good start while we still had a bit of momentum, if you look since then, we've basically just won a game a month. And as long as we do that now till the end of the season, we pick up a win in each of the next 4 months, those 4 wins will take us to what? 38 points. Add a few draws into there, a couple a month, and we're probably safe come the end of the year. So that is the stage we're at the minute. I don't expect many points from these away games, and I want to show you the games where we're going to struggle because better viewing for you, isn't it? We are meeting our match in a championship, but we're competing really well. And at home, we're providing a really stern test for teams. If I show you the difference between home and away and what we're like at the moment, we have a look at our home record. We're up in that top half, 6 wins out of 11, lots of goals scored and plenty conceded as well. Whereas on the road, just 5 points this season, 3rd worst record in the division. We thought about trying to play 4 at the back a bit more, which we've done in recent weeks, and it's made no difference. Just seems we haven't got a goal threat playing this way on the road, so maybe that's going to require either an improvement in players or a change of style. But for now, we are competitive as we come up against Luton Town, who have re-signed Jack Stacey in this universe. Is that Ali McCann? It is in centre midfield. Chio Ogbene, the only original, playing in that 11, and Harry Darling at centre-half, a player we know very well from our Bristol City save at the end of last year. But let's go and pick our team. Sam Bell, another one from that Bristol City side, actually, and see who we can get together today, because, as you see, we were looking through the youth teams in midweek, and today it's going to be all change. Back in a minute to run through the 11. Well, here we are with our team for today's game, and basically, with the exception of Daniel Rose, not many are keeping their place. I should mention, Jayden Danns is now wanted, and he's wanted by both Larne and QPR. Larne and the Northern Irish League doing really well in this save, and he is going to be a big money target for them. Bear in mind that he is worth what? 8 to 12 million at the minute. He's been asking for a new contract, which I'm not willing to give. If we get over 8 million, Jayden Danns will be going. I'm promising you that now. So we'll keep an eye on him and the interest in him when this window opens. But for now, this is the team we've gone for. Basically the first 11 you'd expect with Daniel Rose back in goal. And then the only big difference really is that Goodrum is playing ahead of Diblin because he's in such good form. Whenever he plays, he's decent or better. And I feel like he earns a start because of it. So it means we've got Rose between the sticks with Williams and Parks the fullbacks. Daniel Rose, that is, in goal. Parker and Kwanzaa at the two centre-halves with Goodrum and McKinstry out wide. And then Russell, Denny and Gleeson behind Hugo and Danns up front as we stick 4-4-2 away to one of the top sides. We might regret it. We've got no Hilton. We've got no Brookin, who is nowhere near fit after AFCON. But that is the squad that we've gone for. And most of the bench is fit if we need it. Let's go and see what we can do. I'm pretty sure this will be a long day at the office. Well, 5 changes for Luton today, which includes bringing in Ogbene for Adama Traore none less. Destiny Adogi is another man who's dropped out. Ryan Giles, another original that was in the squad. On the bench, there's a former Watford man in Emmanuel Dennis, and there's also Jacob Brown who looks good. But even in midfield, the likes of Warren Wangala, we're talking about top quality here. Let's go and say the pressure's all on them. Keep these lads relaxed going into this one, because away to a sparsely populated power court, Luton's attendances always get done dirty in FM. Let's see how we get on today. Watford behind, but Oxford ahead early on, which is a bit of a mixed bag for our relegation contenders. We just want those 3 to get cut adrift at the bottom. At the moment, it's a little bit mixed on that front, as Parker picks the ball up at the back. Wouldn't mind getting a lead in this game, although it seems unlikely at the minute. Though Hugo nicks in for Danns here, and Gleeson. Good ball to Jayden Danns. He scored again. 7 for the season. And that will not harm his transfer value at all. As we come towards January, he's finding form. There's probably no coincidence there. But this year I'm encouraging it. We're not in a promotion race. We're fairly comfortable in the middle of the table. If we can get 8 to 10 million for a player that I almost didn't sign because I thought 140 grand was a bit much, it could be one of our greatest deals, couldn't it? We almost got another one there as that free kick hit the outside of the post, but at the moment, everyone's drawing 1-1. So there's no harm being done at the bottom as Parks gets the ball to McKinstry. And it's back to Parks again. Big floated ball in. Goodham up at the back post. Luton not as generous as Watford with the goalkeeping. Stolajic does well. And will he start a counter now? It's out to Harry Darling at the back, who you presume will have been signed to play football there. Jack Stacey, back for his second spell at the club, finds Ogbene. You're going to have a lot of pace down that right wing as Stacey switches the ball to Bell. Chance to cut inside. We can't give them an equaliser here. We've got to remain compact and sensible. It's not been easy on the road this year. We've done what we don't often do, which is score. Though Mackey's in and he's put it wide. It was offside anyway. Good defensive shape, good offside line. And Daniel Rose has got the free kick. Can we keep him fit now? As Williams plays short to Parker. Got Kwanzaa alongside, but goes for the switch, which isn't great. Kept in by Totti, who intercepts it from Goodrum. He finds Delquara at centre-half, and now Darling. Into midfield. Or eventually in. Mangala gets it for Stacey. They're playing good stuff now. We've awoken them, and here they go with Mangala. It's a really good finish off the post. Daniel Rose beaten. Midfield runner not tracked, and in the end, it's 1-1 Luton Town, and for the last 5 or 10... that'd probably been coming. It's also the final action of the first half. A pretty even game and not a great deal of number of chances, but we're passing it well, we're in the match, and we're doing well away at a top side. I can see that Ogbene was hooked at half-time there. At the expense of Adama Traore, Stacey not far behind. They've made all their subs already now because 4 subs over 3 breaks, unless the other one was in the half-time break. They're not going to be able to make the last, but we've got some tired legs too. And we've got to be aware that it's yet another 3-game week coming up. So let's see who we can bring on. Jayden Danns will be rested for Aaron Presley. Not fit himself, but he'll do a job. Hugo would switch sides. We're going to take Goodrum off, who's not been great today, for Diblin. And I think we're going to leave the rest for now because the two centre midfielders are playing well. I don't really want to mess with a back four. I'd rather do it for a whole game from the start than with 20 minutes to go when we're getting a good result. The chances are we would have expected 3 defeats on the road, maybe 1 point somewhere. We can get that in the first game, it takes the pressure off. But there is why Diblin hasn't been starting, because that's poor. Adama Traore breaks away. Russell Denny does well, but the danger's not clear. Parker to Parks and now McKinstry. Get down the line and counter. Just passes it straight back to them. Adama Traore again. Finds Mangala. Inside to Anderson. Chance to shoot. It's a massive deflection. I've noticed since the last couple of updates in FM, there are so many more deflected goals. Certainly than during the beta and the start of this. And it's going to cost us a game here. We're going to take McKinstry off in a minute. He's rated very poorly. He did give that ball away at the start of that move. He's won it back there to try and make amends as Parks. Into Parker. Parks again. It's another one of those away days where we've been close, but close doesn't get you any points, does it? As Diblin breaks away to Gleeson. This is a chance. He's 1-on-1. Oh, I thought he'd been selfish there. There were two in the middle waiting to tap in. But Gleeson goes alone and he knew what he was doing. It's a fabulous finish by the midfielder. And with 13 to go, it is 2-2. 2 away goals is a bit of a dream for us. McKinstry replaced by Ferry. McGregor or Jack Morehouse. We're going to go Morehouse on for Russell Denny. And then Hugill struggling, but I've got nothing else. I haven't even got Hilton to bring on the right of midfield. If Gleeson becomes knackered as well, we can take him off. Oh no, we've got the warning that Daniel Rose might be injured. I better save it now. We've got to the 89th minute. I think we're safe. Let's get Roddy McGregor on. He'll replace Gleeson, who at the moment has scored the goal that's earned us a point. And now Roddy McGregor comes on. And with 5 minutes added, I was about to time waste, but we've got a highlight. So let's see it out with Hugill. On the right-hand side, crosses block to Diblin. Cuts inside. Oh, nearly scored. I thought it was the net that was rippling, but it was the roof of it. 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. Could have been the winner. As it is, we're going to have to try and settle for 2-2 here. I don't want to push the boat out too much. It's another big point. We're not at a stage yet where we can dominate this division. We've got to try and get results while they're available. And today would be a wonderful time to pick up a point on the road. Something that's been few and far between this year, as we saw from our record. Luton 2, Southend 2. And to go away to 4th place and get the draw. To see it out in a pretty even game. I'm absolutely thrilled yet again. Similar to what we had in the last episode at home to Norwich. When we're playing those top sides, anything's a bonus. You can see Birmingham we're playing in midweek. They were done by 5 at Nottingham Forest. They chased the game at 1-1 with 10 to go and they let in 4 goals. That's what we've got to avoid. I'm looking at this now and thinking, yeah, we're in good nick because Watford lost again, Oxford drew, Lincoln lost. We're gaining ground on that bottom 3 again. Preston, yes, did pick up the win, but it was at home to bottom place. And we're now 10 points clear of that bottom 3 and in that mid-table chunk that we would have been thrilled to be part of in pre-season. Let's go and get through to the second game of the day. It's Birmingham away, the side that came up with us. They've battered us at home a couple of times. Let's see how we get on this occasion as we head to Birmingham to face Ange Postecoglou. Well, here come the fitness test. Josh Brookins should make it. Sonny Hilton might not. Let's see how many of the 11 are fit from Saturday. Because if we go away to Birmingham, who have just been done by 5, they're playing that front 4 again. They're playing very narrow. I mean, normally I would go to the back 3 here. But part of me wants to stick with a 4. Because it's worked better for us generally this season. Let's see how many are fit before making our decision. And the problem we've got yet again is that both strikers are knackered. Everyone else is fine. I mean, Dan's I could well play. What tactic do Fulham play? Let's work this out. So Fulham play 4-2-3-1. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 4-4-2 here. We'll play the back 3 against Fulham. And that means we'll only need 1 striker fit. So Presley in for Hugill alongside a slightly tired Dans. And Diblin will stay on the bench as a backup striker this time. Josh Brookins can make it on as well, which is great news for us. And the rest of the team doesn't really have to change that much. Again, we're going to pick the game at the weekend to give them all a break. McKinstry is not playing well. Here's a player I'd like to drop out at the minute. And I'm going to go for, it's a bold game to bring Will Ferry in, but I'm going to do it. He comes in on the left-hand side. The rest of the team have earned their place again, and they will stay in for this one. So the only two changes, Presley in for the injured Hugill, or the tired Hugill, sorry. And then in the midfield, Will Ferry on the left. A rare start, maybe a first? A second championship start for him. He's featured in every game, and he will come on in place of McKinstry, who's not been in great form. Birmingham is the destination for our away game today. They're a side that pipped us to the title in League One and gave us a bit of a schooling when we last went to St Andrews. So let's see how this one works out as the teams are warming up. Okay, they've taken a different approach. They've changed nearly everyone. 8 players going out and a lot of quality, but coming into the team, Jordan James, who we were linked with in the summer, Drew O'Day, who we tried to sign a couple of years ago, Luke O'Nine is a quality player, and they've got the likes of Sariki Dembele and Norrington Davis on the bench. It's a good team. So let's just say, I want to be impressed. Do what you can. Anything's a bonus. We got the point against Luton. You can give me another one today. I'll be overjoyed at the end of this episode. Into the first half. Let's hope we can shock the odds. Well, perhaps a worry with 10 minutes gone. Preston leading away from home. They're flying at the minute. Rotherham are the best of the 3 promoted sides. Despite coming up in the playoffs, they are well up in the top of the mid-table battle. Huddersfield have got Preston back though, which is good news for us. And if you have a look at the stats, the back 4 is working. We've had all the shots, we've had all the efforts, we've got all the expected goals. We've not had much of the ball, but I'm not that worried about that for now. Huddersfield beating Preston is now becoming a good night for us, but can we make it even better? We've got 5 to the break. There's a few tired legs in there already. We've got a corner kick right on the stroke of half time though. Ferry up to the back post. Presley went up. The locker pitch does really well though, the Birmingham keeper. And he might start a counter-attack now with OD. There's those 2 sitting midfielders and those 4 pressed up against our defence. Though Oakley drops deep for a minute. Gives it away to Presley. Gleeson looks forward to Ferry. Not had many chances this year, but finds Goodrum with a great ball. And Tyler Goodrum has not scored since that big winner against Watford just before the episode before last. It was his first start for the club just before that. And now he is in form, he's flying. And he's put us 1-0 up at the perfect time. Big shout out to Will Ferry with the assist. He's been patient this year and he's still contributing. This is a side that is proving the championship wrong. And it might be a comfortable year if we can get results in games like this. O'Nine picks it up in defence again though. And Birmingham will be straight back on us. Miyoshi in for the kickoff. Oh, it couldn't have gone worse. 17 seconds in. They've got upset. They've brought a couple of subs on. And one of them is straight out from half-time to score almost instantly. 3 subs. 1 set the goal up with the pass through to Tisserand. And his through ball goes to Miyoshi, who makes it 1-1. First shot on target as well. We just got a bit of a soft underbelly. It is frustrating. We're going to keep encouraging. We're going to look at the tired legs again and work out who we're going to change here because it's a Birmingham free kick and we're in a spot of trouble because here is Kozia Dubry. Free kick over the wall and off the bar. Headed away as far as Russell Denny and he boots to safety. But Presley, he can keep it in. I was about to say he'd overrun it. He gets it inside and he's going to come off now because we are really struggling physically. Brookin is going to come on left back, I think. No, in fact, what we'll do, McKinstry on, Ferry drops back. Gleeson will come off for Morehouse. We're going to take Presley off up front for Diblin. And we'll switch Jayden Dans over. I'm also going to bring on Brookin at right back for Alex Williams, who's just played relentlessly in the last few weeks, so he deserves a breather. And Roddy McGregor will replace Russell Denny. A 1-1 draw would be good here. We've got to try and freshen it up. And again, while we haven't got the best 11 on paper in the league, we've got a lot of depth in the squad. There's a bruised knee for Goodrum now, which is a problem. I've made all the subs, I've gambled, but a bruise shouldn't force him off, should it? Will it hamper his play though, as Norrington Davis? Preston have just equalised, they're getting a point on the board. Now it becomes more important that we do the same. As O'Nine in defence, plays it forward to Gardner Hickman, making a run, challenged by McKinstry, and Parker gets it away to him again. Ferry on the left finds Roddy McGregor. Yet to have his big arrival moment for us, but Goodrum finds Dans and Morehouse. Good run from him from midfield. We know he likes an attacking movement, and he's forced a penalty there. Superb work from Morehouse. They think it's a dive, the fans, but he's done really well. Might be on duty as well. No, it's Tyler Goodrum. I've not seen him take one. And that's probably why. Why on earth is he on penalties? I've not even changed the taker since he joined the club. Morehouse is my taker. Oh, I tell you what. He went off because he had treatment, didn't he? He had treatment before the penalty. Oh, that's so infuriating. So Goodrum was only taking it because our penalty taker was fouled and forced off. Ah, frustration. Ferry puts the corner in. Can we still make something from it? Not quite. It's away for a throw. How costly will that be? It's a very big moment in this game. It feels like it. With 5 to go, it's still 1-1, but Birmingham back on the attack. Dubry in. Rose does really well. God, I've missed you. What a goalkeeper. Please don't get injured again. Daniel Rose out to Ferry at left back. Finds McKinstry. He's had a bit of an impact off the bench here. McGregor in midfield to Parker. And Ferry can look down the line. Here goes Stuart McKinstry. There's 3 in the middle. Goes alone. McKinstry. Good save by the goalkeeper. While that was happening, Huddersfield have taken the lead again. That is a good result for us if they beat Preston. As Goodrum has got an in-swinging corner. His confidence is hit a bit, but can he find a Southend head? Up towards Kwanzaa. Keeper comes. He's been absolutely excellent today. A penalty save, a big save there. And claiming from corners too. But at the other end, oh, it's heartbreak. Luke O'Neill from the corner. And the penalty miss is very costly, as we suspected it might be. 2-1 to Birmingham City. 6 minutes added on. Look at the stats. We've dominated. And a penalty miss has cost us the result. But the misfortune in how it played out. The man who was fouled was our penalty taker. Forced off for treatment. Couldn't take the pen. And watched his injured teammate miss it. Birmingham go level on points with us. We drop back to 17th. Still 10 clear of the relegation zone. And still 9 clear of that pack of 4 teams at the bottom. We've got to be pleased with where we are. But that is a really frustrating finish. Let's go and have a look at the schedule, as Goodrum should only miss the 1 game. And see when we're next going to be back. And I think you know what it's going to be. A massive game, as it stands at the moment, against 22nd place Watford. How big is the gap going to be when we get to that game at the end of January? We'll find out the answer, as we've got an awful draw in the FA Cup away at a championship team better than us. So we're going to be back for Watford away, followed by transfer deadline day. Will we get the big money move for Jayden Danns? If we get 8 to 10 million, I'll drive him there myself. It's a great deal for the club. Watford, though, could be a decisive game in our battle for safety, as we're comfortably clear of the relegation zone, but not quite clear enough to relax completely. But if you like this episode, a great point at Luton and frustration late on at Birmingham, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. I think it's fair to say our home form is going to save us this year, so I'll keep showing you us getting beat away from home, because I know you like to see it. If you want to stay up to date and find out how it goes next time, and whether or not our star striker leaves, then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back tomorrow with the head coach again. I hope you'll come and join me for that one. It's a pretty big one with a deadline day over there as well. You can find the season so far if you've missed it up in the eye above, as well as the Twitch channel, the football podcast, and so much more. But thank you very much for watching. Your support as always is appreciated. And I'll see you back here next time for deadline day and Watford away.